Most businesses don't feel heavy because the offers themselves are wrong. They often feel heavy because nothing is allowed to lead. When you have multiple ideas, multiple versions, multiple possible directions, even if they're all good in their own right, your business never really builds momentum. It just keeps shape-shifting. And after a while, that just gets exhausting. So if your business is currently working, but it just feels mentally cluttered and overwhelming, it's usually because you're trying to keep too many things alive at once. So you have different offers, different angles, different tweaks, different launch windows, and each one makes sense, but together it feels overwhelming. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about why keeping your options open can feel really sensible, but often just makes things harder, and what commitment actually looks like in real terms, and why improving one thing is usually more powerful than constantly starting something new, especially if you're drawn to having a simple business. Because at this stage of business, simplicity isn't about doing less. It's about deciding what comes first. So let's start with why this feels hard. When I first moved to a one-to-many business model, I didn't choose one offer. I tried everything. I grew a membership to 10K months. I launched a mastermind. I had a 30-day sprint. I had a 12-week group program. I had my premium one-on-one layered on top, and a lot of it worked. I was making really good money, but I also found myself in continual cycles of basically burning out. Now, none of my ideas were bad. It's just that none of them were ever allowed the space to grow. I was always launching something new. I was always repositioning. I was always deciding the next thing I wanted to focus on. And that kept me reacting and last minute all the time. I also chose for relief. So I created a course when I didn't want to repeat myself. I launched a new offer because I'd hit an income ceiling. I started something fresh because I was bored. And I wasn't asking, what's the business structure do I want? What do I want to be known for? What do I want to get really good at? What do I want to run again and again? And that's the difference between keeping everything open and actually committing to one lane. So if your business works, but it feels heavier than it should, this is usually why. It's not that you're not capable. You have a wonderful brain with lots of ideas, but you haven't chosen the anchor, the heart of your business that leads. So what is keeping all of your options open actually costing you? Because on the surface, it feels really sensible. You don't want to limit yourself to one ideal client. You don't want to feel like pigeonholed in your niche. But if you sell all of these different things, even when you're not actively selling it, it's taking up headspace. Should I bring that back? When should I launch that? Should I tweak that? And that constant low-level deciding and headspace is the thing that wears you down. It shows up in your messaging. Your content goes in slightly different directions. Your website gets more and more complicated as you try and tie all of these offers together. Your marketing feels a bit slapdash. And behind the scenes, it's often the same because you have different onboarding processes, different delivery formats, different systems to maintain. And each one is manageable, but all of them together are overwhelming. And the longer you keep changing direction, the harder it is for anything in your business to really settle and strengthen. So your positioning stays broad, your referrals are less clear, and your program never really gets the chance to mature because you're always building something new instead of improving something and becoming the specialist in one thing. So what does commitment actually look like? Because it doesn't mean just deleting everything overnight. It means one offer becomes the leading thing, the thing that your content points to, the thing that your emails point to, the things that your conversations point to. You choose the one problem you want to be known for solving, and everything else supports that. And if it doesn't support it, it goes. Commitment means improving instead of just replacing. And that just makes everything clearer. Your onboarding, the way you explain your offer, you can tighten the curriculum, and you stop adding layers of complication. And it also encourages you to make harder decisions. What does this replace? What ideas can wait? And that's the discipline. Because when things slow down or feel uncertain, the easiest thing, and I know from experience, is to start something new. But often that's exactly when you need to stay and improve what you already have. Starting something new feels productive, and it gives us that dopamine hit. It allows us to do something instead of improving and refining. But when you improve and refine, you get clearer, your delivery gets sharper, your message gets simpler, and the business starts to feel calm and grounded. Not because you're doing loads less, because your effort is going into strengthening one thing instead of juggling 5. So one offer isn't about shrinking yourself, it's about focus. And I actually think it gives you more creativity to play within that offer. That focus is what allows your group program to grow steadily over time. And if this is the thing you're thinking about right now, and you are drawn to this idea of taking one idea and shaping it properly and allowing it to grow into a business, into a program capable of generating 6 figures and beyond, this is exactly what my workshop series takes you through. It's called the One Program Plan, 2 parts, and in it I show you how to land the one idea that is capable of scaling, and how to build your marketing and sales around it so it compounds and grows over time. If you want to watch that, you can grab it right below.